Excellent start.
Yes.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Well, welcome to another episode of Happy Hour Japan. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Aaron. And I can't believe this is already our second episode. It feels like it's been so long.
And we're still wearing the same clothes.
Is this the same gear? Oh, shit.
We just couldn't wait to get started with another video. So this is actually our first topic, which is about textbooks and about learning Japanese. Because Aaron and I both studied Japanese pretty extensively and run into a lot of roadblocks along the way.
Yeah.
I gotta say that textbooks and learning in schools definitely taught me a lot about the basics, but it didn't get me speaking Japanese.
Yeah, it gets you the foundations, it's real solid. I actually never studied Japanese in a school, but I did study French and Spanish in school for a long time. And then once I met my wife, 5 years ago, that's when I decided that, hey, you know what? French and Spanish aren't gonna do crap for me. I better learn Japanese, yeah. Man, what did I waste my time for? Oh well.
But you actually learned it the right way. And, I mean, from as far as I'm concerned, learning Japanese through speech and actual conversation is the right way to learn Japanese.
Textbooks, it's like, I don't know, reading any textbook is boring, right? And, I don't know, let's face it, dude.
Textbooks suck.
Yeah, they we're not going to sugarcoat this one.
Yeah, textbooks suck. And so, well, how do you get around it? Well, you gotta make Japanese friends. You gotta watch Japanese TV. You gotta just be able to expose yourself to the Japanese language. That's
go to Japan. Hey, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. And I think that the biggest problem people have with learning Japanese is they can't stay motivated. And that's not just Japanese, that's every language.
Yeah. It's like you're raring to go in the beginning. You're like, yeah, I'm going to learn Japanese. And you go and you start doing it, and you do it for like a week, and then you're like, you start getting a little tired, and 2 weeks later, you stop. I don't know. That happened to me a whole bunch. It still happens from time to time, but I get daily exposure to it, so I'm luckier than a lot of people. I have to learn it, right?
I mean, the biggest turning point, because I hated learning Japanese. Even though my parents were Japanese, I kind of just completely refused to speak Japanese. I was like, I completely rejected my own culture. I was one of those kids, who all my friends were white, and well, I guess my friends are still white, but I really just didn't want to learn Japanese, didn't want to understand the culture, and the big turning point for me was when I actually connected with a Japanese person and was able to communicate with them, and you realize, holy crap, I can actually speak, I can understand what they're saying, and you get this completely different perspective on the world.
And you get a new motivation to start learning again, because now you have a new purpose. For me, my biggest driving factor in learning Japanese was when I met my in-laws. They weren't my in-laws yet, they were my girlfriend's parents at the time. But I just knew that they were really cool people, and I wanted to get to know them better. And that they were never going to learn English, as well as I could possibly learn Japanese. And so
they're Japanese folk from the countryside.
Yeah, so. They're inaka, serious inaka, and they, I just thought it would be a lot better for me to learn Japanese, so I'd connect better with my in-laws' culture, my family's culture, and it would just be better that way. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, for maybe some of you haven't actually tried to learn from a textbook, but I mean, imagine have you ever run into a Japanese person, for example? The Japanese typically learn from textbooks, and it's very rigorous over there.
Yeah.
And you talk to somebody and you ask them, hey, how's it going? And they're saying, fine, thank you, and you? And then you ask the next person, and they're like, fine, thank you, and you? It's the same pattern, it's the same vocabulary, it's the same phrases, and it's not communication, it's just, making yourself feel like you're talking when you really aren't. Everyone's going to give up on you right away. Whereas if you make a concerted effort, you might not be getting the words right, you might not be getting the grammar right, but you're going to stimulate conversation, and you really do pick up. I mean, it's a really quick process, I think. So, and then there's being able to actually understand what Japanese people are saying, right? I mean, if you listen to the audio tapes that speak at like, 1/5 of actual native speaking speed, it's gonna, I mean...
And they teach you like 1/1000th of the useful language, so it's like you think you know enough to get around, and you know enough to ask a question, but then when somebody responds to you, you're like,
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, well, maybe you've studied Japanese for a really long time, I mean, but maybe you see this on TV. I mean, Japanese can be fast, and, but it can be done, and it has been done. Aaron and I are proof that it can be done, and man, once you really start getting going at it, it's excellent. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of great insight from other people, and meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, yeah. And stick with it. It's worth it.
And a lot of great opportunities for those of you people who, maybe looking for another job, a career change. Maybe.
A girlfriend.
That's right.
Hey, right. Typical gaijin guy here, right? Going after that. Alright. I don't want to be boxed in.
Expand your horizons.
Yes. Grow with us here.
So I guess the whole point of our little rant, maybe, is that textbooks suck.
Yeah.
And they suck because they don't teach you how to actually speak and communicate.
Don't waste your time. There are better ways.
Alright, see you guys later, and until next time, come by.
Come by.
Come by.